A killer fan, a deadly plane crash, a horrific ocean accident. These reality stars made a name for themselves on screen, but their lives were cut short in tragic ways. Christina Grimmie was already on her way to a successful music career well before her star turn on The Voice. She had built a fan base on YouTube by posting videos of herself doing covers of pop songs. By 2011, she had released her first EP, was recognized at the American Music Awards, and went on tour with Selena Gomez. But it was her appearance on The Voice in 2014, where she came in third, that brought her to a much larger group of fans. Tragically, one of those fans would take her life. At a meet and greet after one of her own tour shows in June 2016, Kevin James Loibel, an obsessed fan who authorities believe came there specifically to kill her, approached the singer and opened fire. Grimmie's brother Marcus quickly tackled the shooter, but Loibel turned the gun on himself during the struggle. Grimmie had been shot multiple times in the head and chest. She was 22. At a memorial service for his sister, Marcus said, "All the rumors are true that when the gunman came, her arms were open. That's how she treated everyone she knew. Her arms were open for them." Using the proceeds of a posthumous single, the family set up a charity in Grimmie's name to support victims of gun violence.
That this happens every day. There are close to 40 deaths just from guns every day.
Shain Gandee was cast on the MTV reality show Buck Wild after he took a producer who'd been looking to cast a new reality TV show to a mud hole with some of his friends. By all accounts, what you saw was what you got with Gandee, who was a true child of West Virginia and didn't need to fake his outdoorsy persona at all. Even during production, Gandee, who was 21, would go off and do his own thing, until producers insisted he needed to carry a cell phone for the first time in his life so they could contact him. When he was there, he was the cast member who came up with a lot of the situations that showed off the local lifestyle. The first season was a success. There would not be a second season. In April 2013, Gandee and two other men were discovered dead in his truck. They had left a bar at 3 a.m., telling people they were going off-roading. Somehow, the truck got stuck in a mud hole and the exhaust was submerged, causing the vehicle to fill with poisonous carbon dioxide. All three men died. Ben Watkins had dreams of a career in food. At 11 years old, he was already working at his family's restaurant, Big Ben's Bodacious Barbecue and Deli. Tragically, though, he lost both his parents when his father killed his mother in a murder-suicide. Ben was taken in by his grandmother and uncle, and a year later, he was appearing on MasterChef Junior. The fan favorite made it into the top 18, crediting his late mother for his talent for baking. But there was more tragedy in store for Ben. At age 13, he was diagnosed with an extremely rare form of cancer called angiomatoid fibrous histiocytoma. At the time, he was only one of 6 people on Earth with the diagnosis. He offered to waive medical privacy laws so his doctor could include certain details in a paper he wrote about the case, in the hopes that it might help others with the condition. Ben died in 2020, aged 14. Phil Harris, captain of the Cornelia Marie on Discovery's Deadliest Catch, was no stranger to health issues. The notoriously demanding job of a fisherman had taken its toll on his body, and he had already experienced several crushed discs in his back, as well as a pulmonary embolism in 2008. Then, in 2010, he was discovered collapsed on his boat, having had a stroke. He was flown to a hospital where he underwent surgery. Despite the trauma, Harris seemed to be getting better, and he was well enough to worry about the show that made him famous. Cameraman Todd Stanley told People magazine that after Harris called him into the room, he scribbled on a piece of paper, "Got to get the ending to the story." I said, "Do you want me filming?" He just looked at me with those blue eyes, man, and he was shaking his head yes, and shaking his hand with excitement. A few days later, though, Harris suddenly took a turn for the worse. He died on February 9th at age 53. The footage Stanley shot would eventually be shown to an audience of millions.
I don't know how to tell you this, Jake, but, we lost Dad, dude.
American Idol was a cultural phenomenon when it debuted in 2002. While winner Kelly Clarkson went on to huge fame, things went a bit differently for third-place finisher Nikki McKibbin.
Everything in my life has changed so far, and I'm just expecting so much more good stuff in the future that it's all amazing.
She told People magazine, "People automatically assumed that I was some millionaire because I was in the show, and nothing could be further from the truth. A couple of years later, I was still struggling financially, but people expect that you're living this glamorous life, and I'm like, I'm just trying to pay my electric bill." McKibbin struggled with substance abuse, and she went on to appear on Celebrity Rehab with Dr. Drew in 2008. She got sober and released an EP with her band in 2012. In October 2020, McKibbin had a brain aneurysm, after which she was kept on life support for a period in order to fulfill her wish to be an organ donor. Her husband, Craig Sadler, posted the news on Facebook, writing, "You probably know she practically worships Stevie Nicks. Before they begin, they will play Landslide for her one last time. If you are able, you can pause at 3 o'clock wherever you are and listen to it with her. She will know that you're sharing her farewell." McKibbin was 42. Ahmad "Real" Gibbons appeared on VH1's I Love New York in 2007 alongside his brother Camille "Chance" Gibbons. The fan-favorite pair were given their own reality show the following year, creatively named Real Chance of Love. While it only lasted 2 seasons, by 2013, Real had much bigger problems than a stalled TV career. As he explained in a 2014 interview during the New York Life National Cultural Markets Conference, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer that had already spread to his liver. He said, "I remember I was laying on the hospital bed and the doctor came in crying, and when I saw her crying, I knew it was something serious. My doctors thought I had like 3 days to live, so they just zapped me with chemo. I left out of there with my veins burning and everything. Eventually, he needed surgery and radiation treatment as the cancer spread further, this time to his brain. Tragically, Real died in 2015. He was 33. Jael Strauss competed on the 8th season of America's Next Top Model, where she finished 6th. But her budding modeling career was derailed by addiction issues. In 2012, Strauss's family got Dr. Phil to stage a televised intervention. Despite the coarse way she was forced to enter treatment, Strauss celebrated her continued sobriety on Instagram in 2018, writing, "Today I have 5 years sober. Good God, I know a few things to be true. Miracles are real. Recovery is possible for everyone, no matter how far gone you think you are. We are never too broken to be put back together." Mere months later, Strauss posted a much more painful update on her Facebook page, writing, "On October 2nd, I was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. It is aggressively spread throughout my body and is incurable. With treatment, it may prolong my life longer than the few months doctors said I could make it. I don't want to die. I need another one of those miracles that I got back in 2013. While Strauss began chemotherapy, she soon entered hospice. She died just 2 months after announcing her diagnosis. The singer Jenni Rivera was known as the Diva de la Banda. While she found success in her takes on traditional Mexican music, selling 20 million albums along the way, Rivera also had a thriving career in reality television. This included her role as a judge on La Voz, as well as her own reality show I Love Jenni. After performing in concert in December 2012, Rivera gave a press conference where she spoke about her positive outlook on life despite her recent separation from her husband. She told reporters, "I can't focus on the negative because that will defeat you. That will destroy you. The number of times I have fallen down is the number of times I've gotten up." Rivera then boarded a private plane with 6 others in order to make a taping of La Voz. But just minutes into the flight, the plane crashed, killing everyone on board. Rivera was 43. In 2015, a helicopter crashed in Argentina, killing all 10 people on board. They were filming a French reality show called Dropped, which was similar to the US series Survivor. As the episodes hadn't aired, the 3 participants killed in the crash were not yet reality stars, but they were stars in their home country for other reasons. 25-year-old Camille Muffat won 3 Olympic medals in swimming. 28-year-old boxer Alexis Vastine had a bronze Olympic medal, and 57-year-old Florence Arthaud was a decorated sailor. The French sporting world was heartbroken. What Muffat, Vastine, and Arthaud might not have known was how little the company behind the show cared about them. It was later revealed that the production company had been fined hundreds of times for cutting corners and putting contestants in danger. Steve Irwin became known around the world as a crocodile hunter. As well as his educational TV show, Irwin ran his family zoo in Australia. He was famous for being able to tackle the most dangerous animals, something he started doing as a young child, so it was shocking when he died due to an attack by a normally docile animal, a stingray. Cameraman Justin Lyons was there filming Irwin for an upcoming program when he was attacked by the stingray. Lyons told Australian morning show Studio 10, "I had the camera on. I thought this is going to be a great shot. And all of a sudden it propped on its front and started stabbing wildly with its tail, hundreds of strikes in a few seconds. He had a 2-inch wide injury over his heart with blood and fluid coming out of it. Even if we had got him into an emergency ward at that moment, we probably wouldn't have been able to save him."
We're saying to him things like, "Think of your kid, Steve, hang on, hang on, hang on." And he just sort of calmly looked up at me and said, "I'm dying."
Those were Irwin's last words. He was 44.